Alright, let's continue with our problems. So now at least you got the idea of stats of hypothesis testing. Now let's do more problems to see if you can get the idea. So far so good, one item's already done. So that was just the requisite exercise. Now you already know the mechanics. Let's do the rest. Number 2, Lucas Magallano. Okay, shout out to my friend Lucas because Lucas is also one of my friends in the Team A squad. And I remember during that time he is a kid with a high-pitched voice, but now he is already pubertized. And furthermore, he speaks really good English. So shout out to you, bro, because I know you're one of my brothers in my, in my Team A. I remember if you were still a kid, you can still be my Yoshi. But because you've already been pubertized, that's why I'll make you Luigi already. So, yeah, shout out to you, bro. I hope to see you again, bro, Lucas Magallano, because you're so awesome. And you're so poggy. Shout out to you, man. Anyway, so now let's go to our problem. So Lucas Magallano, who is incoming senior high, wanted to know the average time that senior high school students use their cell phones in a day. So I remember during that time when I made this word problem, Lucas Magallano is incoming senior high. So incoming senior high, baka mali mo, he might be 16 or 17 during that time. But now, he's already, how old is he? Mga 19 or 20. Something like that. Because 2005 siya eh. Ako, I was born in 2000. So currently, I'm 25 years old. So here's the question that I want to ask. According to statistics, the average number of hours that senior high school students use their cell phones in a day is typically 6 hours. Okay. That is what we meant in the problem. So according to statistics, the average number of hours that senior high school students use their cell phones in a day is 6 hours. That is the average, diba? The normal average. However, when Lucas surveyed 36 randomly selected senior high school students about this, he obtained a sample mean of 7 hours with a standard deviation of 3 hours. So ganito kasi yun. So now when Lucas tried to sample the students, 36 of them, he obtained a sample mean of 7 now. And then the standard deviation is 3. Now the question is, do you think that Lucas will accept or null or reject the null hypothesis when he used a 1% of level significance and a two-tailed test in making the decision? Okay. So ganito kasi yung balak. Kasi nga in this particular problem, what we're doing here is still hypothesis testing. Of course, the concepts are still the same. First, let's identify the given. First, what is our null hypothesis? The null hypothesis is this one. The null hypothesis is, it says here, according to statistics, the average number of hours that students use using their cell phones is 6 hours. So the mu is 6 hours. That is meant to be the average. However, what is the alternative hypothesis? Kasi nga, diba, sa hypothesis testing, it wants to test if we are going to negate the null hypothesis or accept the null hypothesis. And it says here, it is not equivalent to 6 hours. Bakit ganito siya? Ito yun. Kasi po, diba, remember, sabi ko dito, however, when Lucas surveyed 36 randomly selected senior high school students, he obtained a sample mean of 7 hours. Do you think that he will reject or accept the null hypothesis when he used a 1% level of significance and a two-tailed test? Okay, so when we say two-tailed, what does that mean? Ibig sabihin, he's going to test both tails. Do you still remember in our normal curve, we have the, di ba remember this is the normal curve, di ba? This is the mirror, this is the mu, this is what we call the tail. Di ba? We have the right tail, the left tail, and the right tail. Compare sa previous problem, we used the left tail, the right tail. And that is a one-tail test. Ngayon, we are using a two-tail test. Kaya naman, bakit ang alternative hypothesis ay not equal to? Kung sa tingin mo sa first problem, it's greater than because it tells us a directional. Kasi nga, there are two types of tests, a directional test and a non-directional test. A directional test tells us if the test has a direction. It tells us specifically which tail are we going to test, the left side or the right side, based on the grammar. However, this one is a two-tailed test because we are testing which one. Because baka mali mo, there might be students who might use their cell phones more than 6 hours or baka man mo less than 6 hours, or maybe siguro cellphone addict, so therefore more than 6 hours, or gusto sila, mahilig sila sa pag-aaral, that's why they limit the time of cellphone, or their parents are very strict, so yun. Kaya nga, that is what we call a two-tailed test. We are doing a two-tailed test for this problem. For we want to know if the students who use their cell phones is greater than the normal average or lesser than the normal average. Diba? So, yun ang kailangan namin gagawin. So, now we are doing this not equal sign. Ito siya. So, the mu is not equivalent to 6 hours. And because, remember, since we are doing a two-tailed test, therefore, our alpha will not be exactly the exact same thing. Diba? Remember, sabi ko dito, our alpha was supposed to be 1%. Kasi nga sabi ko dito, you use a 1% level of significance and a two-tailed test. So, 1% level of significance is 1% divided by 2. Diba? Kaya lang, diba, remember, since 1% is, is pertaining to 1%, and diba, remember, we're using a two-tailed test, so therefore, that 1% is divided into 2, para symmetrical. Kaya nga, when we say two-tailed test, we always divide by 2. Bakit divide by 2? Because we want to test both sides. And how do we test both sides? To ensure that they are equal. And to ensure that they're equal, we need to divide the level of significance by 2. So therefore, it's 1% divided by 2, and that gives us a 0.5%. Translating that to decimal is 0.0005 per 05. Diba? 0.5. Diba? So, yan. Just what I put here in sa Microsoft Excel, ganito siya. 0.01 divided by 2 is 0.005. Now, we locate for 0.005 in our Zay table. So, we know that's 0.005. Wala. It's in between the two values of 0 and 1 and 2. Wala yung 0.005. So, now what do we do here? Let's apply the concept called linear interpolation and help us solve for the problem. For that, let's identify whatever is given. So therefore, level significance is 0.01 divided by 2, and therefore that's 0.05. Now let's continue. First, let's identify the given. What is our x? Our x is 7 because that's a sample mean. The mu is 6 hours, diba? Just like what you see here. The standard deviation is 3. And our n is 36. So therefore, it's 3 divided by square root of 36. Ganito siya, di ba? And then our sample standard deviation is 0.5. Because 3 divided by 6 is 0.5. And our computed Z value is 2. So we standardize 7, 6, and 0.5, and that's 300. Ganito kasi yung ginawa ko. Ganito kasi yung ginawa ko. Ang ginawa ko dito ay 7 minus 6 divide by 3 divided by the square root of 36. And doing that so, we get 1 divided by 3 over 6. And 3 over 6 is the same as 1 half. And 1 divided by 1 half is the same as 1 times 2 to give us 2. And diba remember sabi ko dito, we are going to use a 1% level significance and two-tailed test. So that's 0.005. And we do not know where 0.005 is. But it's not in the Z table right here. It's symmetrical. So therefore, it has to be 0.5 minus 0.005. And what do we get? So when we do this, 0.5 minus 0.005, it's 0.495%. Or 49.5%. So where can we find that 49.5%? Dito siya. Yup, it's in between the two values, 49.51 and 49.49. And that's a z-score of 2.58 and 2.57. So when doing the linear interpolation method, this becomes 0.002, and on the bottom becomes 0.01. Then on the right-hand side, we have 0.01, 0.001, and x minus 2.57. And then when we divide, we shift the decimal place 2 places to the right, and then here to the right, and that's 0.02. And then we do this. Now we do a cross multiplication method. And therefore, we have 0.02x times 0.02 times negative 2.51. And that's equivalent to, where's that answer? Ito yun, di ba? At 7 pala. So, 7. Yeah, tama. It's 7. So, that becomes 14. 14. Let me write it for you na lang. This becomes 11, 5, then 0, 0. Yan. 0.0514. Tama. That's the right. And that's the right answer. 0.0514. And that is what we do, di ba? And that's negative. Now we apply the linear algebra. So we add both sides and then we get 0.00515. Then we value 0.002, 0.02, and we get the z-score of 2.575. That is our new z-score. Pero, what type of z-score is that? That is what you call the rejection region. So therefore, the rejection region lies here. Ito yung rejection region, di ba? So the rejection region is the 2.75. 2.575. Here, it's also the same. Negative 2.575. Diba? Those are what you call the rejection areas. Okay? So now, we know exactly where our rejection area is. Now, what do we do? Let's identify. Remember, we got our z-score of 2. And then our critical z value is 2.575. Did the z-score land somewhere in the rejection area? Wala. It did not land there. So therefore, if your computed z value did not lie anywhere within the rejection region, either way, left or right, what do we do? The null hypothesis is accepted! Yay! So therefore, we accept the null hypothesis. Ganito kasi yun. First, we type there our critical level, and then we got here normal standard inverse of E229. Where is that E229? 29. Yan. And that's 0.05, and we get negative 2.57583. Here, on the right-hand side, it's symmetrical. 1 minus that 1. And that's supposed to be 99.75%. 99.5%. Okay? And we still get the same answer. 2.57829 or 83 as rounded. And then, decision rule. Either we accept or reject the null hypothesis. Here is the left tail. If you're going to use the left tail, ganito siya. Kasi nga the rejection region is here at negative 2.575. If your critical z value is less than your, critical value, because diba remember you have 2. Is 2 less than negative 2.575? No, because negative is way lesser. So therefore, it's accepted. So it's false. Then on the right-hand side, here, if 2, positive 2, your accepted null hypothesis is greater than 2.57, of course, 2 is here, and this is greater, it's outside. So therefore, it is accepted. So it's false. So therefore, what is the answer? The null hypothesis was accepted. Diba remember what was my question here? Ang tanong ko dito, my question is, do you think that Lucas will accept or reject the null hypothesis when he uses a 1% level of significance and a two-tailed test in making a decision? And the answer is, the null hypothesis is accepted. So yun yung narrative answer ko. Even if Lucas has conducted a two-tailed test for this problem, therefore, the null hypothesis was accepted. Because if you look at our Z table, if you look at our normal distribution, the computed Z value did not lie anywhere within the rejection boundaries. So therefore, it is accepted. So we have already conducted enough evidence to support the claim. Very easy, right? Now let's go to another problem. Number 3. Sabi dito sa number 3, Kuya James ate the Champ Burger at Jollibee. Wow! Sarap! Ang sarap naman yung Champ Burger sa Jollibee. Ang sarap talaga yung kinain. I wish talaga I can eat that. And shout out to Kuya James because Kuya James is also one of my friends at one of the ramen restaurants at SM San Lazaro. So, shout out to you po, sir, because I know I miss you very much and you're like a great friend of mine. So, yeah. So, ang tanong ko dito, si Kuya James, he ate the Champ Burger, Yum Burger at Jollibee. As he ate it, he claimed that the average weight of any burger is 115 grams. Okay, so ito na yung problema. So, di ba remember kumain siya ng burger? Tapos, based on the burger that he ate, he claimed that it is 115 grams. Is that true? We are not so sure. That's why ganito siya. In one episode of Family Feud, oh yan! Pew! Pew! Yup, in Family Feud, alright? Hello, welcome to Family Feud! Dito na kayo sa Family Feud kung saan tayo magkakaroon ng maraming premyo at 200,000 pesos! Pew! More tawa, masaya! Hey, tutot! Na later na, Kuya Dong, later na. Huwag na tayo mag-more tawa, masaya. May lecture ako, please. Anyways, so ganito kasi yung solution. In one episode of Family Feud, he participated the Fast Money round. Pew! Saya talaga yung Fast Money, no? Gusto ko malaman kung isang tao ay makukuha ng 200,000 pesos! Pew! Yeah, whatever. So he participated in the Fast Money round and he said that it weighs 100 grams which then reveals to be the top answer. Yan! So ganito kasi yun. Diba remember this already what happened? Kasi nga there was one time sa Family Feud, di ba dumating siya sa Family Feud, di ba? Kasi nga normally sa Jollibee habang kumain siya yung burger, kiniklaim niya ay 115 grams. Pero pag dumating sa Family Feud, baka manay mo tinanong ni Kuya Dong, give an average weight of a burger. 100 grams? Gaano kabigat ang isang burger? Ew! Gaano kabigat ang isang burger? Sa Fast Money round? 100? And then, ang sabi mo 100. Bakit 100 sabi mo, Kubusuyo, Kuya? Siyempre naman, di sa personal experience, pero kiniklaim ko that is what most people accept eh. Bahala ko na yung meron. So, basis, top answer! Or sometimes, baka mali mo, top answer, then jackpot! Yup, that's exactly what happens there. So, therefore, ito yun, which then reveals it to be the top answer. That means, ibig sabihin, maraming tao ay nag-accept ng claim na yan. That is the meaning. Since he ate 49 of them in his life, was his initial claim to use a two-tailed test in doing the experiment when the standard deviation is 42 grams and using a 5% level of significance. So in this particular problem, we are going to apply the same concept of hypothesis testing. First, let's identify the given. We know that the null hypothesis is 115 grams. So therefore, as you can see here, mu is 115 grams, diba? So ito yun, ito yung table. So 43 solution, the null hypothesis is 115 grams. And the alternative hypothesis is, bakit hindi siya equal? Ganito kasi yun. Sabi dito sa problem, it says, use a two-tailed test in doing the test. So therefore, we are going to use two tails. So ano yung test namin? Are we going to use a one-tailed test? No. Two tails ang gagawin namin. So as you can see, kailangan namin i-test tayo yung dalawa. Okay? So we're testing two tails. And then, when the standard deviation is 42 grams and using a 5% level of significance. Before that, let's identify the given. So level of significance is 5%. And 5% divided by 2 is 0.025 or 2.5%. So can you find 2.5% in our Z table? We know that 0.5 minus 2.5, 0.25, and that is 47.5%. And of course, most likely, 47.5% is somewhere within that 1.96 to 1.96. Yan o, 0.4750. So, 1.96. Doon siya. Okay? 1.96, negative and positive. Diba? So, therefore, it's already even. We already found it. Diba? And then our standard deviation is 42 grams. So, that is the sample standard, that's the normal standard deviation. And then samples, since he ate 49 of them in his life, therefore, it's 7. Take the square root of 49 and 7. Then sample standard deviation is the standard deviation divided by the number of samples. And that's 42 divided by the square root of 49, which is 7, and that gives you 6. And now, let's compute for the computed Z value. So, ganito kasi yun. So, we standardize, and diba remember, our sample mean is, let's identify the given. The sample mean is 100, which then reveals to be the top answer. Dahil pinarparticipate siya sa Fast Money round ng Family Feud, he said, and then the question is, gaano kabigat ang burger? 100 grams. And that is the top answer. So therefore, that is the alternative hypothesis. Because most people say that it is the top answer. Compared to Kuya James' initial claim, it was 115 grams, which was somewhat not meant to be true. Okay? So therefore, it's 100 minus 115, which gives you, ganito yung formula. Ito yun. So, H sub O, which we call the null hypothesis, is the mu is equivalent to 115 grams. H sub 1, which is the alternative hypothesis, tells us that the mu is not equivalent to 115 grams. Yan. So, let's compute. We get 46, we get 6, and negative 15, diba 100 minus 15, 1 naman 5 is negative 15. And 42 divided by 7 is 6. Negative 15 divided by 6 is the same as negative 5 halves. Negative 5 halves is the same as negative 2 and 1 half. Negative 2 and 1 half is the same as negative 2.5. So therefore, that is your computed Z value. Negative 2.5. But where does the negative 2.5 lie? Ganito siya. If you look at our Z, do you remember, does it lie within the rejection region or not? Do you remember what is our level of significance? 5%. Pero it's divided by 2. So therefore, that's 1.96. Both positive and negative. Since we found it in our Z table. If you are to do this in Microsoft Excel, you just type here, normal standard inverse of E300. So ganito siya. 0.025. Dito siya. The 0.025%. And it's right over here. Diba? And then here becomes 1 minus E300, and that's 97.5%. Diba? Kasi as you look on our Z table, diba, we have 1.96, diba? 47.5. Pero that starts from the center to where you stop. Pero we want to include the negative area. So we add 0.5, and that's 97.5%. And we still get 1.95996, or which is rounded to 1.96. Now, what is the decision? Do you reject or accept the null hypothesis? Where's our Z value? Negative 2.5. So negative 2.5, wait, look, it's inside the rejection region of negative 1.296, 1.96. So therefore, the null hypothesis is rejected. So to show you my decision rule, ganito kasi yun. I type there, if our computed Z value of negative 2.5 is less than negative 1.96. So, diba remember, this is less than. And then, if it's correct, rejected. If it's false, accepted. But since negative 2.5 is less than negative 1.96, it is rejected. Correct. On the right-hand side, if negative 2.56, negative 2.5 is greater than positive 1.96, that is either rejected or accepted. Pero it is rejected. Kasi nga naman remember, ang titest ko, if this computed Z value of negative 2.5 is greater than positive 1.296. But it's not. So therefore, it is accepted. It is accepted. Diba? Pero I did it reverse kasi nga I want it rejected. So yan. That's it. So therefore, what is the conclusion? Nope. Kuya James' initial claim isn't true. So that is the correct answer. Yun ang sagot na hanapin ko. So therefore, was his initial claim true? Ibig sabihin his initial claim of eating a burger that's 115 grams correct. Was the claim true? Baka mali mo, baka tapos ang Family Feud. Yun na talaga, nakaiba na talaga yung decision niya. Sabi niya, it's not 115, it's not anymore 115 anymore. Baka mali mo, pag dumating na sa Family Feud, kung sabihin mo 100 ang top answer, eto na, sabihin mo lahat, 100 grams ang top answer ng isang kabigat ng burger! Pew! Pew! So yan. And the test is true. So therefore, the test is false. So therefore, the null hypothesis is rejected. So ito na yung solution, yung conclusion ko. So therefore, Kuya James' initial claim isn't true. So therefore, after he joined the Family Feud and said that 100 is the top answer, therefore, yun nga, 115 grams is not the top answer anymore. Pew! Tama ka dyan! Tama ka dyan! At dahil tama ka, therefore, ikaw na yung panalo sa Family Feud! Pew! Alam mo yung ibig sabihin na yun? More tawa, more saya! Hey! Tutot! 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 More tawa, more saya! Hey! Tutot! 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 More tawa, more saya! Hey! Pew! Pew! Makikita tayo muli dito lang sa Family Feud! Family Feud! Anong sabi ng survey?